They once worked together a long time ago. They're not friends now. They don't like each other. And yeah, 50 has taken every shot, especially when Diddy has been.
You got to really look at what's going on. I've been around him a couple of times. Don't like the guy. And I know a lot of other people who he's done weird things to. Mm-hmm. And there are several men who have reached out to me telling me that they got their cakes took, basically.
We almost passed on this one. At first glance, it looked like more background noise in the never-ending Sean Combs saga, the kind of rumor cycle that burns hot for a day and disappears by the weekend. But then the evidence started stacking up. Screenshots of texts that were never meant to surface. Threats hastily erased. Panicked calls from attorneys scrambling to make footage vanish. And according to multiple independent sources, what's buried in that footage doesn't just accelerate Diddy's collapse. It shows his sons have been engineering their own downfall for years. And then, just 48 hours ago, they made the single worst move possible. They gave 50 Cent motive to that point. This stopped being
In Hollywood, specifically, when you get there, a lot of people don't know how to say no. That's the difference between New York City and California.
Beef. It became a demolition. And if the whispers are accurate, Christian and Justin Combs aren't just staring down public humiliation. They're staring down prison time. Because somewhere between a discreet hideout overseas and a cutting room in New York, the final pieces of their exposure are being sealed into place. Let's rewind to the spark that set this off. On December 18, 2025, 3 days ago, Christian Combs, better known as King Combs, jumped on X and posted a message that would have sounded juvenile if it weren't so reckless. Swearing on his father's name. He threatened to slap 50 Cent if he ever saw him. The post vanished within hours. But by then it was far too late. Because Curtis Jackson doesn't react. He calculates. His reply wasn't loud or messy. It was surgical.
Out in front of this and, tried to persuade Netflix not to come forward with it. I think it's an interesting argument because what they're claiming is, Curtis Jackson, aka 50 Cent, has had a long-standing, animosity against Diddy and sort of vice versa. And because he's at the helm, they're arguing this can't be taken seriously. This should sort of be seen as propaganda. And one of the things that Netflix hit back with was, yes, he's the executive producer. He doesn't necessarily have creative control. And that's something
he reminded Christian, publicly and precisely. Who has real leverage. He listed the empires he's built, the fortunes he's made and remade, and then casually pointed out that Christian is still living off inherited branding and borrowed relevance. It wasn't an insult. It was a power check. And the timing made it worse.